Hello everyone, this is Sanjay Parashar. Welcome back to the channel. And today in Mulesoft tutorial series, we will learn how we can debug a Mule application in case of any error, or if we want to know how the data is being traversed through different event processors and activities. How we can use debug perspective. Till now, in our first 6 sessions, we have been working with the design perspective of Mule, and today we will see how we can debug a Mule application using the debug perspective. So let's start. So this is the application, Mule application, that we created in our previous session, read CSV file, where we were reading a file from a particular location. We were transforming that file to JSON, and then we were setting a variable for the file name, and then we are transferring back from JSON to CSV, and we are writing that CSV file one by one using this for each event processor. So now we want to debug this application in debug perspective to see how the data is being traversed. So for now, let me just put a logger at the beginning of this entire flow, and let me just say we are logging the payload, and here we can put a toggle breakpoint so that the compiler will stop here, and then we can go step by step to see how the data is being traversed. We will stop the running project, and then we will run it using this particular command to debug this. Once this is done, it will follow the procedure of initializing and deploying the project to runtime. Once that is done, our Mule debug perspective will be in action. And on the top right corner, you can see this is Mule debug, which is activated at the moment. It is initializing app in the console, and this is active is Mule debug. So this particular thing is called debug perspective. It is something similar to what we have in Eclipse for Java developers. And as we can see that the application is deployed now. Now we'll need to trigger this application, and the trigger point of this example, what we are trying to debug at the moment, is we will be putting a file to a certain directory, and it will pull that file, and our compiler will stop where we have put that toggle point, and then we will move from there step by step. So let's trigger this application. So this is the file, dummy file. I'll put into this read directory. Now if you see, after the 3 seconds, it is not deleting it from here because our compiler has stopped to the next step. So let's see. Now our compiler is at this logger step, and in this logger, in this debug perspective here, we can see the current step is logger. This is the attribute correlation ID of this particular activity, and this is the payload. So the payload that we received from that file, as you can see, it is all in a text format. It is not an array, or it is not a map or linked list. It is a simple text. If you expand this, you will see that media type is text.csv. Now you click on this next processor, or you can press F6 on your keyboard. You click this, and our compiler will reach to transform message, and on your console you will see that the entire payload is displayed in console because this logger activity has been completed. Now we are at the transform stage. The payload is still the text, because once we complete this step, then output will be updated as the payload. So let's do that. We'll click here. Now our compile is on for each, and this payload, as you can see, this has become an array of JSON format. If we expand it, we will see that media type has become application /JSON from text over CSV. and now we are on for each. So when we click on next, the first iteration has begun and we are on a variable. Inside this variable we will see another variable, the counter is 1. We will see another variable once the compiler will move to the data weave, the transform message step. Let's do that. Here we have now the variable size 3, because this policy ID variable has been updated with that policy ID that was there for that particular record, and we concatenated it with .csv. If you have not seen our previous tutorial, I highly recommend that you see that, so that you will be able to understand that what exactly the business logic we performed as part of this particular Mule application. We'll click on next, and now as you can see, now it is again a text file of CSV, application over CSV. So in this transform message under data weave, we gave the media type as application over CSV, and it is that, and we'll click on next, and then it again started the second iteration of this particular. So if you'll see that policy ID is different now. Let's move. Now this is the third iteration. On the top as well, if you check the sequence information, we are on position 2, because in array it starts, index starts from 0, 1, 2. So now we are on the third iteration. The position ID is 3. And here you see the 2 file have already been created. And the moment we will proceed to the right, now we'll see that third file has also been created. So if we received any error, suppose we did something and we received some error in this transform message, the compiler will stop here, the debug perspective will stop here, and the message will be there under the console. So the major benefit of having the debug perspective is to debug the code and what data is there for variables, for payload, for attributes, for messages. So we can traverse and we can define our business logic accordingly, and we can utilize the event processors accordingly once we know the type of the data and how the data is looking to the compiler. We will understand that how we need to define the business logic out of it. So again it will do 10 times because we have 10 iterations, and once it is completed, the entire flow will be completed, and we have all the 10 files here, and this read file should be deleted now. So that's how debug perspective works. So just to check, just for the example, let's do some modeling mistake here on this Mule application, and let's error it out and see how the debug works when we have some error within our application. So here we are transforming the JSON to CSV, which is a straightforward transformation from one format to another. However, if we try and transform it to XML, it should fail. So let's see, and let me clean that right drive here. Let me delete all this. Let me just copy this, paste it here. The moment the service is deployed in debug mode, the debug perspective will start. At the moment it is initializing this app. So now it is started. We have at the part of logger. Let's next. Now we have a JSON array, and now we are on for each. Now we are on this payload mode, and now we are at a step where we expect it to fail, because transformation from JSON to XML is not as straightforward as from JSON to CSV. I'll click on next, and as expected it is failed. You see there is one red line here. Let me click on next again, and the debug perspective is off, and we have got the error here. So this is the error. This is the error for that particular data weave expression that we gave. So why it failed? why it was not able to transform from JSON to XML. I will explain that in my next tutorial, where we will be reading an XML file and doing similar sort of activity. However, rather than CSV, we will be dealing with XML and we will be transforming XML to JSON or JSON to XML. However, the objective of today's tutorial was to let you guys know how the debugging works. Those who are working as a Java developer on Eclipse, they are already familiar with debug perspective of Eclipse based IDEs, which is Anypoint Studio here. So this is it guys for this particular session. I hope you liked it, because this debug perspective and debugging a code is as important as developing a code at first place. So thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourselves and you have a nice day ahead. Bye bye.